Design number 20. Suburban house with curved roof. A floor plan from the 1850s. I found this house located at 120 Grand, Newburgh, New York. Unfortunately, the building is boarded up, and looking into the history of the building, it went through a fire years ago during a renovation to restore the building. I will leave a link in the description below. This design was prepared to answer the requirements of a suburban residence for a physician and is occupied by Dr. Culbert of Newburgh. As it is situated on a corner lot facing the main street in the upper part of the town, it was necessary to pay as much attention to the side as to the principal elevation, and the plan has been so made that a symmetrical arrangement is arrived at on both these fronts. The house is built of brick and brownstone, the panels being recessed in the brickwork, while the pilasters and cornices are of stone. The roof is curved and covered with tin. The porch, the veranda, the railings, and the work on the roof being of iron. The plan may be thus described. A hall, 17 feet by 10 feet, communicates with the parlor and staircase hall, and also with a lobby that leads directly to the consultation room. Any lady, therefore, who may inquire at the front door for the doctor can be shown into his room at once, through this vestibule, without traversing that part of the house which is in use by the family. This lobby has also an external entrance covered by a porch, and is provided with a bell to the office, so that the greater number of those who call professionally go to and from the private room without entering the residence at all. The consultation room communicates with the library, and this again with the inner hall, and also with the drawing room, which is provided with a bay window. A veranda, accessible from both rooms, is located in the angle formed by the library and office. The staircase is made circular to suit the peculiarities of plan and site, and has a good effect, as it runs continuously from the basement to the chamber floor. In Paris and other continental cities, the circular, or elliptical, staircase is in great request, and the plan offers, undoubtedly, many advantages, as it takes up less room than any other that will provide treads and risers equally easy of ascent. But I do not often introduce it in country houses, as it requires a little more care in going up and down, and stair carpeting does not adapt itself satisfactorily to the form. The extra labor needed for steps and handrails is also more expensive than the room and material required for other simpler styles of staircase, and no advantage is therefore gained by using it, except under peculiar circumstances. But in a design like this it may be very profitably introduced, as it enables an architect to obtain results in the internal arrangement that could not otherwise be arrived at without the occupation of valuable space. In this case, moreover, the angles supply several useful closets, which could not conveniently be dispensed with or otherwise located. The chamber plan shows 4 bedrooms and a bathroom, and several fine bedrooms, protected by the curved roof, are arranged in the attic. The dining room and kitchen offices are planned, according to instructions, in the basement. This house has been built on the upper level of Newburgh, in Grand Street, which is at present the handsomest thoroughfare that passes through the town. It offers a drive of ample width, and thoroughly well constructed, high up above the river, and on a parallel line with it. It is lined on both sides with fine flourishing trees, most of which have been planted within the last 20 years, and many of them considerably within that time. The last 4 or 5 years' growth has wonderfully improved the appearance of this vista, and the beautiful elms and maples, with their wide-spreading and interarching branches, promise ere long to produce an effect that may equal the far-famed Hill House Avenue in New Haven. Grand Street is thus naturally becoming the principal promenade of Newburgh, and the often recurring glimpses of the Hudson, with its gleaming and ever-shifting freight of sails that one catches at intervals framed in the foliage of the trees on the side streets, give it a charming pictorial character that is very rarely attainable. This design was built some years ago at an outlay of about $10,000, but I am unable to furnish the exact particulars of cost. This house has been painted in quiet, agreeable tints, but, in the first instance, was finished, according to the design, with a fair quality of red brick that contrasted in color so richly and artistically with the brown stone and brown woodwork that I was very sorry indeed to see the painters at work covering it all up one fine day. There can, I know, be little doubt but that red brick, unrelieved by any other material, is altogether too vivid in color to please in an American climate. But when, as in this instance, it is used in conjunction with a good deal of stone, like the Little Falls or Connecticut brown, the effect is altogether too harmonious and satisfactory to need any attempt at improvement. And it is certain that the house will look much larger and more valuable if the work is left in its pristine state than if the surfaces are painted. Although the work may be done by the best painters and with the best colors that money can procure, few persons take the trouble to calculate the real cost of paint, which seems a much more economical material to use than it is in reality. If the sum spent in external painting were added to the value of the brick or stone used in the building, they would often procure materials that would need no painting at all, and the same rule applies in the interior. Well-grained white pine costs as much as oiled southern pine, and the latter is a really beautiful material when oiled or varnished, while the graining is but a sham and pretense, however well it may be executed.